Alrighty, last week we were learning about Mojo, and he was the very important monster for his classroom. He kind of let that get to his head a little bit and was not being very kind and considerate to people around him. Okay, so the other students in the class, he was like, I'm more important than you. I should cut you in line. I should get this toy at recess. I should be able to say these things. And he wasn't realizing that the way he was treating people wasn't with respect. So we're going to see how Mojo tries to fix that today, how he tries to make his choices from last week better. Okay. As always, we will watch this episode and then there will be questions to discuss. Levin, a question before we get started.
I might be having therapy all week.
All right. Well, I hope that it does well for your ankle. All righty, here we go.
Mojo knew it felt bad for his reflection in the mirror to be mean to him, but Katie had the solution. Mojo just had to be respectful. Ah, yes, respectful. Of course, every VIM knows about being respectful. What does being respectful mean? Well, let's start by talking about not being respectful. When you don't have respect, you think of yourself as huge and very important. Compared to you, everyone else is tiny, and what they want isn't as important as what you want. It might seem fun at first, but most people don't like being tiny, and soon they won't like being around you at all. When you don't act like you're bigger than everyone else, everyone has fun. That's what respect means, knowing that you're not always the most important. Treat others like you want to be treated, and they'll do the same. Katie, you're a genius! Using respect, I'll make everyone love me in no time at all! Wait, Mojo, you can't just... But Mojo dashed off. Mojo's plan was simple. He'd do something respectful for everyone in class, and once they respected him, they'd all get to play his favourite playground game, Foursquare. Here you go. I got the best balls from all around the playground. Pretty respectful, eh? See you for Foursquare. There you go, Harry. Books are unbanned. Free press is here, and it's thanks to me. Pretty respectful, I know. Come play some Foursquare when you're done. Got you some pieces, every colour and size. That's some mad respect, Foursquare game outside soon. See you there. Mojo was ready. It was time for the big game. Where is everyone? No one showed up for my game. I don't want to play a game of one square, but I showed everyone respect. What is happening? What's wrong, Mojo? I showed everyone respect, but no one came to my game. What's the point of respect if they don't do what I ask? Respect doesn't work that way, Mojo. You're still acting bigger than everyone else. You can't just be respectful to get things back a minute later. You have to be respectful in the long run. You need to give it time. Oh no, not time. Time goes too slow, except on weekends. Mojo was in quite a pickle. He found out that it wasn't enough to do one respectful thing, especially if you don't mean it. What could he do differently? And what should he do next?
Now that is an interesting question indeed. All right. So Mojo figured I'll just give everybody what they want and then they'll do what I want to do. I'm not sure that that's a respectful response, okay? All right, so you have a question to discuss. That question is, what does it mean to be disrespectful? And what does it mean to be respectful? Okay, so what does it mean to be disrespectful? What does it mean to be respectful? I'm going to send you into your breakout rooms to have that conversation. When you get back, I will expect you to randomly share out. What does it mean to be respectful? What does it mean to be disrespectful? Aiden Hampton.
Disrespectful means if you're not being nice and you think everything should go your way
That's a really important
and you're
part.
not being kind. Respectful means you're being kind and you're playing with people and you think other people should have other stuff like you.
Nice. I like the way that you added in there, you think it should go your way, right? Sometimes when we're playing or when we're working with people and partners and things like that, we can work together, but we have to be okay if we do someone else's idea. So it's not just, I'm working with them, I'm right here. It's also being like, okay, let's try that, and showing other ideas respect by giving it time. Awesome. What does it mean to be respectful? What does it mean to be disrespectful? Justin, tell us, what does it mean to be respectful? What does it mean to be disrespectful?
Disrespectful means like, how to be mean. And you boss people around sometimes, like all the time. And respectful means to be nice to everyone. And to be nice to everyone. To be nice to everyone and be calm, don't fight and all that.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Miss Sousa.
Me either, but I'm just cracking up over here.
Yeah, she put the cover over her face.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was saying was we can also show respect to each other on Zoom by the way that we're behaving, right? Remember, I can see you people, and it's not respectful. If we were talking face to face, I would hope that you guys wouldn't just go and start being crazy, right? It's the same thing on Zoom. We got to show each other respect. We got to listen to each other, look at each other, think about what each other is saying. Those are respectful choices as well. All right. Sorry for the call out, but thanks for the good lesson, Justin. All right, guys. Next up is a second question for us. That question is here. Why didn't Mojo's plan work? What could he do differently? So Mojo's plan was, I'm going to give everybody what they want, and then they're going to do what I want to do. So you want to read? Here's some books. Now come play Foursquare. You want to build Legos? Here's some bricks. Now come play Foursquare. There's no equipment. Here, it's a bunch of recess equipment. Now come play Foursquare. Why didn't that work? Okay, and what could he do differently? Here we go. All right, Mojo's plan was to throw stuff at everybody that they wanted, and then they're going to give me what I want. Why didn't that plan work? What was wrong with that plan? Terrence, what's wrong with that plan? Oops, sorry, William, I didn't mean to lower your hand.
Because what's wrong with the plane is because if you just throw stuff on top of them, they don't want to do what they do, and that's not being respectful because he just throws stuff on them, and they wouldn't do that to him.
Yeah, so it's not just giving people things, but it's how they want it, right? Like I just had my birthday and I thought my husband was respectful because he handed me the gift. If he went like this, if he went here, right? Even though it's a gift for me, I'm not going to be very happy because he threw it at me. Okay, so we got to think about the way that we give people things as well. Why didn't Mojo's plan work, Aiden G?
Because he told everyone what to do to go and play with them at Foursquare.
He did. What could he do differently if he wants to play Foursquare?
He can give stuff to them and ask them.
Asking instead of telling, right? So saying like, hey, this is what's going to happen. Nope. But hey, I'd like to do this. Would you like to join me? Now we feel more inclined, right? So asking instead of telling, very important point. Aiden Hampton, why didn't that plan work?
because he just threw stuff at everybody. He didn't even be nice to one of his classmates. Like, you have to spend time with them to like apologize if you want them to play with you. But he just threw stuff at him because, look, this is gonna go my way if you don't do it.
Look at you guys showing empathy and all of your knowledge about social interactions, apologizing, right? He had been acting pretty crazy last week. He was pretty rude. So he can't just all of a sudden decide, yep, I'm going to be nice now, right? The other person might need to know, like, hey, are you sorry for what you did? Like, do you feel bad about it? Are you going to make it better? They need some closure in that. Leah, what do you think?
He can like don't throw the items on the person and then acts like give them nicely and then play with them.
Yeah. So just like I shared with you, if Jeremiah were to walk up to me and go, hey, here, and throw the gift, even though it's a gift and I like gifts, I'm not going to feel good about him throwing it at me. But if he says, like, here, I got this for you, that's a positive interaction. So Mojo was thinking nice, right? Hey, I know what they want. Let me give it to them. But he didn't deliver it nice. William, close us out. What do you think?
Well, a way I think he could change his plan is I think he didn't have to throw it on him. He could have just gave it to him and took some time and asked them if they wanted to play. Not just say, play fourth grade with me. Ask them if they
Yeah.
wanted to play. And if they said yes, and just wait until they come.
Spending time in conversation is a great way to show respect. So saying, like, I'm going to give this time. I'm going to see how they're feeling, check in with them, give them some time to talk and not just make it all about me. And that's perfect because that leads us into our last question. What does Katie mean when she says you have to be respectful in the long run? You need to give it time. Okay, so Katie tells Mojo, you have to be respectful in the long run. You need to give it time. What does it mean that respect takes time? All righty, question was, what does Katie mean when she says you have to be respectful in the long run? You need to give it time. What does it mean to give respect time? What does that mean, to give respect time? Terrence, you were so excited. Take it away.
So being respectful in the long run is about like always being respectful.
Yeah, it's kind of like this idea of having a reputation, right? So what we do in the long run or for longer periods of time becomes our reputation. So if we're typically someone who is always showing respect, when we have a weird day where we're not being respectful, people aren't like, oh my gosh, they're always this way, right? And we get more respect. We get more trust in that opportunity. In the long run, if we're consistently disrespectful to people, then when we try to be respectful, it's not going to mean much because we've done so much damage and so much wrong that we've got a lot to make up for. William, what do you think?
I think what Katie means by that is that he needs to go the long route. Like, he needs to go apologize and he needs to take a different approach. And he needs to be more respectful in a different way. And he just waits. Just waits till they come. They do.
Good. So taking that time and waiting and being patient in that situation. Aiden Hampton, what are your thoughts?
So he needs to sit down and he needs to think about what he did last time when he first became VIM. He just wanted to he wanted it to seem like he told everybody what to do. So he just needs to think about what he did and let his energy come to him. To get ready to apologize to everyone.
Yeah. So he's got to think about not only the long run of the future, but of the past. What have I done in the past that I need to fix and make better? Okay. Very good. Aiden G, what are your thoughts?
That he needs to take a few deep breaths and then apologize to everyone, and they might come and play with him.
Yeah, right. The other thing that we have to understand is in the long run, people have choice of how they respond. So if we've been disrespectful and then we apologize and make it better, the other person might decide, you know what, it hurt too bad. I'm not ready to be around you yet. I need time. Then we've got to continue showing that respect in that time that we're waiting as well. So respect, especially when we're making up for things that we've done, is a very committed decision. It takes effort, energy, and time to make it last. All right. Okay, next week we will see if Mojo's class decides to forgive him. In the meantime, let's think about what we can learn from Mojo. And what we've discovered we can learn is respect takes time and respect takes effort to make up for when we have broken it with disrespect.